Nigerian Senate on Wednesday passed the Rivers State 2025 budget for second reading. The budget, which stood at 1.4 trillion naira, was passed for second reading after it was read by the Senate leader, Senator Michael Obayemi Bamidele. Obayemi said the Senate has since assumed the powers of legislating for Rivers State, having been under the state of emergency. In his contribution, Senator Solomon Adeola Olamilekon said there was a need for the budget to be legislated immediately so that the people of Rivers State could feel the presence of government. He said, "Mr. President, I don't know under what topic this document is questioned, but I could see it is about a budget of the state of emergency. I hereby support that the budget be passed for second reading so that the people of Rivers State can feel the presence of government." In absence of opposition to the bill, Senate President Godswill Akpabio passed the budget through voice vote and referred it to the ad hoc committee on overseeing Rivers State of emergency. Chris, what do you make of this development?
Well, it's unfortunate, very unfortunate where we are today. I must tell you, as a Rivers person, that I am not happy with the way things are in the state. When I read the news yesterday, that of course, I'm not saying I'm not aware that as a result of the state of emergency in Rivers State, that the National Assembly has taken full responsibility of the rules and responsibility of the Rivers State House of Assembly. But when I read it, I was
more like
happy.
Reality checked in.
Yes, because why Rivers State? We have 36 states in Nigeria, and we have to go to the National Assembly to present our own budget. Does the senator understand the Rivers State very well? Those who are going to look at the budget, do they know the nook and crannies of Rivers State? Do they understand the needs of Rivers people? But now our budget is before them, and the budget was also presented by the president. Of course, he's the president of the country, but obviously he does not understand the basic needs of the people of Rivers State. But that's where our political gladiators have taken us to. And some of us, when we said let's do the path of peace, it was as if we were not being sincere. But now the reality has set in. Even the suspended governor, his supporters are looking for peace. But this was the peace we suggested, that let us find a way and resolve this issue. They refuse. And when I saw it yesterday, but we do not have option the way it is now. The Senate will look at the budget like what it says. So who is going to defend the budget? You know, in a normal setting, the constituents, the National Assembly, the assembly members will mobilize their constituents to come and look at the budget. We look at the projects that are captured in the budget. Does it reflect the needs of the people and all that? So how many Rivers people will go to Abuja to go and defend the budget before the Senate? So you see where crisis has taken us to. Crisis is a bad thing, and it's unfortunate that we're here. So the Senate has said the sole administrator will have to come before them to defend the budget. But even at that, I don't think, from my record, that the sole administrator before now stays in Rivers State has to say that he understands the needs of the people. But we are already before.
But then one would say that for 2 years or a year plus, I think that's the right thing, for a year plus, Rivers State has operated without a budget. Recall that Rivers State did not operate with budget in 2024. That was part of the issues that the peace pact, if you recall, didn't fly. Because when the president was listing conditions that both parties must meet for that peace, the suspended governor was told to represent the 2024 budget to Rivers State House of Assembly, which the governor did not do. and that also became a subject of litigation, if you recall.
I'm aware.
Right, and then Justice Omotosho in January 2024 asked the governor to also, through an order of mandamus, by the way, to present the budget to the Rivers State House of Assembly. The appeal court upheld that judgment, and then Supreme Court. So throughout 2024, Rivers State did not have a budget, and while that was causing a whole lot of rancor, the governor went ahead. Recall, presentation of budget in 2024 was to form an assembly, but then in 2025, the 2025 budget was now presented to even a lesser number, 3-man assembly. And then after Supreme Court judgment came finally, you saw what was going on. If I may use the word, a show of pettiness that was going on between the State House of Assembly and the governor, and everything is centered around presentation of budget. So if they had done, I mean, the House of Assembly and the state governor had done what they were supposed to do on the wake of the Supreme Court judgment, we will be where we are right now.
No, I understand. For now, I'm not looking at who is to blame now. I'm looking at reality of setting. It is the ordinary Rivers person that is going to suffer it. Now, like you mentioned, the 2024 budget was, in the eyes of the law, was not presented, but it was prepared by the governor and those around him.
Okay.
At least, it's even better that they are Rivers people and they understand the terrain. They know what Rivers people need, and it was captured in the budget. The issue is that the governor refused to follow the law by sending that budget to the Rivers House of Assembly. That's where the
whole problem is
the whole problem started, because a lot of persons cheered him up. Oh, a 3-man assembly can actually replace 32 and all that. But the budget was prepared because it is the executive that prepared the budget, and it is the function of the assembly to look at the budget and approve. But in this case, from the person who is preparing the budget does not stay anywhere in Rivers State. The sole administrator is barely 2 months old in Rivers State, and he's already preparing a budget. That's the point I'm looking at. Both the governor and the assembly, and I'm sure that nobody is happy that the Rivers State is in this situation now. So it's also, we have to tell whether the governor is coming back or not. He should learn from this, because you don't allow this crisis will not have gotten to this length if not for those I see as who did not mean well for Rivers people, those who are around the governor, who are always giving him wrong advice on how to engage in political fight that has led us to where we are today. So the governor should learn, whether he's coming back or not. If eventually he comes back, let him know, or let him review those who are around him, because as it is now, it is I'm being careful because I'm on air, but it is unfortunate that we are where we are today in Rivers State, that people who are not from Rivers State, people who don't even reside in Rivers State, are the one preparing our budget, are the one looking into our budget. Is unfortunate. But
then let's look at the brighter side of this whole situation. I mean, every downside has its upside, doesn't it? So now, at the end of this emergency rule, hopefully the emergency rule comes to an end and the suspended governor is reinstated back to office. Then we now have a working budget. Will not be, or is he going to be expected to present a different budget?
No, I don't.
So now we will now have a working budget, and that to a large extent will lay a lot of some part of the bickering to rest. Now, probably the House of Assembly will now be looking at the people they called impostors that the governor was working with, and the controversy around RISIEC as well, and all of that. So one would say that the bright side of this is that, I mean, when the governor comes back, to a large extent, we have a budget to work with. He has a budget now to run the state with.
Well, you have a budget, but you know, my point here is that budget is supposed to capture the activity of the government for that year.
And it should encapsulate the needs of people, even down to the rural places.
Yes, so if somebody...
Yes.
I don't have issue with... There are two things here. We are in emergency room. And the sole administrator does not reside in Rivers State prior to the.
So you feel that
he does not understand the.
Hold on. You feel that Rivers people do not have a say in this budget. You feel that Rivers people were not represented in this budget.
Obviously.
Ordinarily, when budget is presented, the House of Assembly members will speak for their constituencies,
yes,
and want some things to come for their constituencies. And you're saying in this budget that was not done because, I mean, it's the National Assembly, not the State House of Assembly. And National Assembly, they don't legislate for Rivers State at the grassroots level that the Rivers State House of Assembly does. That's what you're saying.
Yes.
So your concern is that this budget may not
yes,
represent the priority of Rivers State.
Because, like I said, the budget in a normal setting, the governor has a way of consulting the people of the state and prepare a budget based on demand, based on consultation. You prepare a budget of what you intend to do and send it to the state assembly. They look at it. And of course, you know, the state assembly has people from all around the state, and they look at it. Is it really the need of the people? And the budget is passed. Now, was anybody consulted? The president, I don't even know how they came about the document that was presented before the National Assembly. But it's unfortunate that, like I said, this has to, or this will send a strong message to the political gladiator, including the governor who refused. I said they recognize the assembly. This should serve as a lesson to everybody. Like I said, whether he is coming back or not, because from the statement we were told that the president will. Well, I have not seen the president speech this morning, but there is speculation in the camp of the suspended governor that the governor will be called back today. Whether he is coming back or not, that's my point. The governor should learn that Rivers people first. The interest of Rivers people first. I don't see why a governor will operate without a budget. And we have called on the governor severally to present the budget. If the governor had presented the budget, we would not have gotten to the level where we are now. Now we do not have a say. Does the governor have a say in the budget now? It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. As the Rivers man I'm paying, when I saw it yesterday, I was worried. I said, oh God, what have we done to ourselves? Well, how are we going to explain this to the generation to come, that all of us were here and we were not able to resolve a common political differences, and now the National Assembly, out of the 36 states, including the FCT, is only Rivers State. What is it that we cannot resolve? Like I've said severally this morning, it's unfortunate, and it's unfortunate that we are.
But then Rivers State has always had history of crisis between the incumbent and the predecessor, and always the incumbent is usually the anointed of the predecessor. Should we look at Okilo and Ada George? Should we look at Peter Odele and his predecessor? Should we look at Amechi and Peter Odele? Should we looking at Wike and Amechi? And then we now have Simfubara and Wike. Can you remind me or tell me of one incumbent that had peace with a predecessor in Rivers State?
I agree with you. It has been like that in Rivers State.
The only thing is that this one now has
gone to another level. So, but my point is, Rivers people need to go back and look at our interests and place the interests of the ordinary Rivers person first before our political interests.
Do you think, like you just rightly mentioned, this crisis has always been there between, I mean, Rivers State has a history of this crisis between the incumbent governor and the predecessor or their godfathers, as it were. But now that this has gotten to another level, do you think this will be a fresh chapter? Do you think this will be the beginning of a new chapter in Rivers State's political ecosystem, where probably the incoming governor will not have crisis again with the predecessor? Do you see that happening?
I can't predict that for now. But what I'm saying is, Rivers people should learn from this
Okay.
We should not, after this crisis, we should not in any way drag Rivers State into this kind of crisis anymore. Because I have gone around the town and I saw that because of the budget, a lot of projects cannot go on in the state. I don't know whether you have noticed
Julius
that.
Berger has stopped.
Yes, they have shut down the ring road. Now nothing is happening. And who is suffering? Is it not the ordinary Rivers people? So Rivers people, they should, like you said, it should open a new chapter. Whenever, I'm not saying we will not have differences. In politics, it's normal for you to have divergent opinion, but we should not allow Rivers State, the ordinary Rivers person, to suffer because of our selfish political interest. Whether you are a predecessor or you are incumbent, you should know that Rivers people come first, because it is unfortunate that,
And also at the elders.
the
Rivers elders as
the
well.
Rivers elders are also part of the problem we have. The elders are divided. You see some supporting the FCT minister and the others,
the suspended
governor. Nobody, none of the Rivers, even the clergy, they have where they belong. It shouldn't be. So people should learn to speak the truth. We need a system. It's not because of political interest that your interest that you did not have your way and Rivers State must suffer. We need to look at the way we do our politics again. This is not the only state where the predecessor and incumbent have different. In Lagos State is there. In other states we have seen it in Anambra. But we have not seen this level of the crisis degenerating to this level. So Rivers people should see this as an eye opener and ensure that we don't drag Rivers State into this kind of crisis, because it is step backward, both development, economic activity, and what have you.
All right.